Rescue 8, Truck 6, Truck 3, Battalion 3, and the on-call inspector. 2303 West 46th Street, number 208.
Hi, this is Tyler Churchwell, Fire Inspector with Sioux Falls Fire Rescue. On this episode of Sioux Falls Fire, we're going to go to two different structure fires. One a little bigger than the other, but both learned different concepts at each. We're going to take a look at a new tool we have in our water rescue program and talk to a few cadets, see how they're doing out at recruit school. All this and more on this episode of Sioux Falls Fire.
Out here at the training center today, and we're working with our newest group of cadet firefighters. We have 9 new cadets, and I'm with Cadet Cacaro. And let me know a little bit of what all you guys been doing out here today with your live fire training. You're just getting into it. What are some of the things that you've learned?
Yeah, today we just been starting with making point of entry, finding the fire, doing our primary searches, extinguishing the fire, putting everything together that we've learned so far in the first 7 weeks of classes.
Yeah, mostly this first 7 weeks you've been inside in the classroom, a lot of textbook and learning that way, and now it's the hands-on, really getting into it, the fun part, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's like you said, putting everything together and then actually getting to go and do it and seeing what it is to actually physically do what we've been taught.
So you're going in, previously, let's see, you were a medic, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so any other fire experience coming on?
I had 3 years of fire experience in Mitchell.
Okay, so you had experience at Mitchell. As far as the Cadet Academy, what did you do there compared to what you're doing here? How's it differ?
In Mitchell, I started off by getting my firefighter 1 and 2, and then it was more on-the-job training. The guys there that had experience, the FTOs there, they pretty much trained you on the job. Okay. And then as you furthered your training, they kind of put you into situations that they felt comfortable with. So there wasn't really an academy per se. So
it's a little different having a 16-week academy where you're out here 40 hours for the week, every day, going through it, everything, correct?
Yeah, the academy is awesome. I mean, I'm learning so much, and I know all my other classmates are too. It's really good to get all this training and then putting it all together once we hit the floor.
So leading into this, you kind of know what's going on, what you're dealing with. So how about your other counterparts, the other cadets? They getting a good feel for it now?
Yeah, we're working really well as a team. We're all pretty tight-knit group, so it all helps, and everyone's got different experience at different places, so we're all bringing it together to make it work.
All right, sounds good. So anything unexpected?
Yes and no. I mean, the long days, I'm used to being on not a Monday through Friday schedule, yep. But that's a little getting used to personally for me. But other than that, the work ethic and everything of our crews are really good. Good.
So things are going good. You guys are moving along well, and we're looking forward to you getting through the Cadet Academy and hitting the floor.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, I'm here with Cadet Mark Ellens. He's one of our new cadets out here at the fire training, going through the 16-week Cadet Academy. Mark, what do you think so far?
Well, it's been quite the experience so far. Coming from the world of healthcare to the fire service, it's all new, but it is very exciting.
What were you doing within healthcare?
I was working at Avera, and I was a pharmacy technician in their long-term care pharmacy.
Okay, so this is a big change from pharmacy to firefighting.
Yes, sir. It is a huge change, but it's a welcomed one.
Okay, so Cadet Academy, 16 weeks. You guys are not quite halfway into it right now. How are things going for you?
They're going great. I've got a really supportive family, and the firefighters that I know on the department already have all been very beneficial, and they've all been more than willing to help out with any questions that I have.
So Mark, I guess the big question would be, why did you decide to leave the world of pharmacy to become a firefighter?
Sure. I got into healthcare because I enjoy helping people and taking care of those who are sick, but I wanted something that had a little more manual labor type to it. Yep. But this still allows me to work within the public service and satisfies my healthcare and mechanical labor type of work and stuff.
And you've been getting into some live fire training now, a little different than the classroom setting you've been in for the past couple weeks. What's some of the stuff you're finding?
It's really nice to get out and start working on the skills that we've been seeing in class.
Yep.
What the training officers show us from the book and then out to the actual putting that to use really has been quite beneficial.
So, did you have any fire experience prior to this?
I did not.
So going into your first live fire, how'd it feel?
It was exciting. Heart rate went up,
Yep.
but it was nice to see that this is a taste of what the future holds.
Yep. In the, I know the TOs give you a lot of information, and from their past experiences tell you what to expect. So you had a good feeling of going into it, right?
Yes, sir. They prepare you. They tell you what you're going to experience, and they're right there with you, so you're not just by yourself.
All right. Well, I know there's a lot of guys putting some work in here, loading hose, so I'll let you get back to it.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Firefighter Vanentop, I'm on assigned to Rescue 8.
Firefighter Dustin Lubke from Rescue 8. Today we got dispatched in a structure fire right here on North Kiwanis, and from our station we're about 4 blocks away. So when the tones went off, we could see the black smoke when we opened the garage door. When we coming down the street, we had a real short response, so we didn't have a lot of time to pre-plan and actually get our stuff on. So we pulled up on what's the Delta Charlie corner now, where the smoke and heavy fire was. We were blocked there by a large stack of pallets, so we relocated to the Alpha side, right along Kiwanis.
As you can see today, it's a super windy day, so one of the main things we were looking at is the fire initially was kind of on the upwind side, heading towards the main part of the structure, and our main goal once we showed up was try to save the showroom and the kind of the main part of the building. So Rescue 8, when we showed up and got our hydrant hooked up, had our water supply, we made entry into the showroom with the goal of making it to the door connecting there to the warehouse and trying to provide protection there from the rest of the showroom from catching on fire as well.
We've done the inspection on this building before, so once we found out that it wasn't Kitchens Unlimited and it was actually the mattress reclamation place, we knew kind of what we were dealing with for fire load, and that there was the wind pushing that. It was a real probability for a wind-driven fire pushing towards Kiwanis, towards the unaffected building, or adjoining building, which was Window World. So we got in there. We had 1 3/4 inch and a 2.5 inch, and we kind of held it right there at the showroom. We made we had 3 different crews rotate in and hold there while we were setting up the master streams on the trucks.
After our first bottle ran out, we came out, and like Dustin said, the other crews went in, got our bottles refilled, and we went in for a second time. And that time we were kind of in our same defensive position, and things started clearing just enough where we were able to advance forward more into that warehouse. And there was a couple pockets of fire that the big aerial ladder trucks weren't able to reach. So with our hand line there, then we were able to hit those spots and try and contain it even further. So we ran out of air a second time and exited the structure.
We had encountered a lot of black smoke, heavy black smoke from the time we got here. And even from where we were all coming in at on Kiwanis here, the wind's coming from the northwest, so that made it difficult too, just with visibility and the smoke and breathing that. Once we got inside, there's a heavy black smoke in there, low visibility, and quite a bit of heat actually too from the inside of that building. On this fire, it's a little bit different. Most of these larger structures, when there's that much fire load in there and that much fire inside, we typically tend to go defensive when they're that far advanced. On this one, we were able to set up a pretty good wall right on one of the firewalls there. So we were able to kind of do both offensive from there, and then we had the sticks set up containing the mattress pile in the back.
Kind of goes back to what Dustin said earlier about having done inspections on this building. We know, at a general idea anyways, that there's a firewall separating the main warehouse portion from the showroom portion. And when we opened the front door, initially the showroom was clear of smoke, so we knew we were going to be able to get into that position to still be offensive while simultaneously kind of defensively keeping it from extending into the other part of the building.
I'm Mike Murphy. I'm a captain with Sioux Falls Fire Rescue at Fire Station number 5, and today Heavy Rescue 5 is out training with our new ERB 380 Zodiac raft. It's a new piece of equipment for us that's really going to enhance our capabilities to respond to water emergencies, so we're getting out on the water and getting some practice. So the exciting thing about our new Zodiac raft is that we're able to carry it on one of our existing vehicles, and so we don't have to tow it or bring it along with any of our other trucks. We have it ready to go at all times. We're able to deploy it off our vehicle within about 5 minutes, have it in the water and ready to go, which greatly enhances our ability to respond as quickly as possible to any water emergencies in Sioux Falls or even out in the county. So currently Sioux Falls Fire Rescues has 3 different types of water rescue vehicles. We have essentially a raft, we have our new Zodiac, and then we also have our hard bottom Rescue 1 boats. And they all have different abilities and different specialties. You know, with our hard bottom boats, they're fantastic, but the unfortunate thing is we have to have a boat ramp to put them in. With our smaller raft, it doesn't have a motor on it, and so we have to paddle with it. And so our new Zodiac really kind of fills the gap between those 2 pieces of equipment. And so now we have a motor on our raft that we can quickly deploy anywhere along the river. We don't need a boat ramp or anything like that. But obviously it's not quite as big as our hard bottom Rescue 1 boats either. So it really kind of helps fill in and gives us a lot of capabilities with Sioux Falls Fire. So currently we only have 1 Zodiac boat, and it is carried on Heavy Rescue 5. It is a new boat for us. We haven't had one like this in quite some time, so we are excited to have one. And actually going to add 2 more in the near future to enhance our capabilities across the department and across the county. So obviously you can see behind us we have the Big Sioux River here in Sioux Falls, but along with that we know we have a lot of ponds and lakes around Sioux Falls and throughout the county. And so with this we're able to make, you know, quick rescues if necessary, conduct searches or anything like that. And with the weather getting nice, we're starting to see, you know, kayakers and rafters getting out on the river, and so we want to be prepared to respond to any type of emergency that we may face.
When we were pulling up to the scene here, we saw the owner of the home standing outside on the sidewalk, and she was on the phone. We approached her, and she stated that there was a fire on the in the kitchen of her home and the inside. So Officer McFarland opened up the front door, and at that point a lot of black thick smoke came rushing out, so we closed that door again. She advised that she was okay, didn't need medical attention, that she was the only one in the home. So at that point we came around back to make sure that no one was going to come in or out of the back door, and try to secure the scene while we waited for the fire department to arrive. Really, the first thing that we look for, obviously, as law enforcement, is we're here for you know, first aid measures on, you know, these fire type calls. So we're going to get on scene. We're going to make sure that we have the people accounted for, everyone that's on the scene, make sure they're accounted for, and then if anyone needs medical attention. And if they do, we'll call the ambulance and have them respond as well. Otherwise, then we kind of go down into the scene security route. So we're going to make sure that no one's coming in or on the premise. And then obviously further down the line, you know, if we believe it to be an arson case or something like that, our investigators will then step in at that point and take over the case. So the Sioux Falls Fire Department, they have their own arson investigators, or fire investigators that will come out, and they will determine the cause of the fire. And if they believe that there is any foul play or anything like that, they will contact our arson investigators, the PD, Sioux Falls PD's arson investigators, and then it's a joint coalition force that will then go about investigating the case and hopefully finding the arson.
All right, we're down here at Central Fire Station, and with me I got FAO Nate Strasser here. Now Nate, we're going to take a look at some of your trucks. I know we've been through the engines and everything, but what rig do we have here?
This is Squad 51. It's a newer concept. We run this with a 3-man crew. Its main purpose is to run the bulk of the medical calls down here, and it does go on some structure fires. It also goes to all second alarm fires in the city, USAR activations, and extrications.
Okay, so now when you talk about it goes on some structure fires, what makes this truck roll outdoors there?
This truck sticks pretty close to home for the most part. Any fire in Central's territory it goes on.
Okay. Now, it goes to structure fires. How much water does this hold compared to, let's say, your engine that's a primary response?
This carries about 150 to 200 gallons. The big truck behind us there, that carries about 500 gallons.
Okay. All right. Let's take a look around the truck here and kind of just tell us what's in the compartments.
We just like any other truck, we think of this truck as kind of a big tool truck. It's just not as big as the other ones. As you can see, we have our tools that we use for when we go in and do some firefighting. We also have our ballistics gear. Pretty good hard, good hard helmet. Over here we have some place to hold our gear with an SCBA and some spare bottles. Wildland gear, some rope, electric fan, nice bright lights for us to use on a scene. More wildland gear, some cribbing in case we need to steady something up. Back here we have a smaller pump. Easy way to think of it is a grass rig, one of our smaller pumps that we use to put out grass fires.
All right, as we come around to this side of the truck, you can go ahead. What kind of hose is that? I notice that's a little different than other hose that I've seen.
Yep, before when I was talking about fighting grass fires, this is another type of hose that we can use. It's just a smaller, easier maneuverable hose that we can use instead of pulling that big 1 3/4 hose all over the place.
Okay.
Yep. We also have a vent saw we can use if we actually go to a structure fire. We can go do our vent duties just like any other truck. Moving on here was our medical compartment, full complement of medical just like on any other truck. And up here next is the other side of the guys' gear tray. We carry the officer and the firefighter medic's gear back here. And then this is kind of a neat cab design. We got just the one guy back here, but he's sitting back here by himself, getting the game plan going and ready to go.
All right, because this rig is staffed with just 3 crew members.
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed the tour of one of the squad trucks down here at Central Fire Station. You might see it around town, downtown area. Once again, Nate, thanks for taking time, show us the truck. Appreciate it, and stay safe out there.
Thank you.
Hope you enjoyed this episode. If you have any other questions with Sioux Falls Fire, log on to our website at siouxfalls.org/fire, and we'll see you next time.